Cheers, loves! The Overwatch beta is here! Okay, that was probably the worst Tracer impression of all time, but sad dudes, Dean here, and today we're going to be discussing the Overwatch beta. It just happened this past weekend, and I had a lot of fun playing it, so I'd like to give my impressions on it and sort of discuss where I think Overwatch will be going forward in terms of either my channel or just in the game and how things could be fixed or whatever, and yeah, we'll talk about that stuff. So, in the background, you're watching a gameplay of me using Tracer, who is the cover girl, the girl who's not allowed to have a butt. If you don't know about that, just Google it. It's kind of a funny, stupid scenario that things have happened. Anyway, yeah, using Tracer in the background. This is probably my best gameplay that I've gotten in this game. I will say that I don't think I'm that great at this game. Not yet, at least. But there's a lot of different styles you can play, and we'll get to that. So, as I mentioned, this was the beta, the open beta. I do not have the game pre-ordered, but I want to mention, this is why you have a beta, my friends, my people. When I saw the commercials for Overwatch, I wasn't like overly excited for it. I mean, it looked cool, but I couldn't justify spending $60 on it. I wasn't that excited about it. It looked like a fun game. I've never really played a Blizzard game before, but it looked cool. However, I really wasn't planning on spending $60 on it. So the beta comes out and I'm like, all right, open beta, whatever, let's give it a go. You know what I mean? It's out there. It's free for everyone. You might as well try it. You got nothing to lose. And holy shit, I had a ton of fun playing this game. This game is a really, really quick shooter, I would say, and it has a lot of good balance in the sense that there's different characters to play and each character has a different style. So let's sort of talk about that. As I mentioned, there's different characters and different styles. It's a hero-based shooter, I think is what they call it. A hero class-based shooter is the style that they call it. Every map or every game mode is objective based, and you can choose between 4 sets of characters, and in those 4 sets, or 4 types I should say, is offensive, defensive, tanks, and support characters, and each character has their own little niche. There's like 5 sub characters I think in each of those categories. So each character checks and balances themselves, they check and balance themselves, and they allow different sort of play towards the objective, I guess you could say. So my favorite characters to play in the game would be Tracer, McCree, and Reaper, I think. I really like the offensive characters, but there's definitely some defensive characters, or support characters, I should say, that I really enjoy too. And I like playing the tanks sometimes too in Soldier 76. So basically, I like a lot of different characters in the game. I didn't get a chance to mess around with every character in the game, but for the most part, I did try and play with each category to get a feel of how they operate and how they play. So overall, I think I really enjoy the characters and the way it's set up. In the future, I think I'd like to see some more game modes. I don't know what's happening in the full release of the game. As far as I know, this beta is pretty much the game. Like, there might be some balance checks here and there. There might be some things they change, but I think overall this beta is really close to the final product, I guess you could say. I will say that I think a lot of people gravitate towards Tracer. I don't know if it's because she's the cover girl or what. I don't think she's an incredibly easy character to play. However, I think that if you can pick up the style, that it's pretty easy to use. I think that's kind of how a lot of the characters are. They're easy to use, but they're hard to master. And I think once you master it, it gets really good. I will say for sure that Hanzo might be a little overpowered. Hanzo and the snipers, in the hands of a good player, those characters are really powerful. I find myself just getting destroyed by Hanzo a lot, and Hanzo is the bow character. If you don't really know the Overwatch, he's the character who shoots the bow and has got the dragon finisher thingy. So he's pretty cool, but really strong in the hands of a good player. Overall, yeah, I really like this beta. And I really like this game, and I think I'm going to pick it up now just because I had a lot of fun. And as I mentioned, I think that's why you have a beta. It's one, to figure out the kinks in the game and the balance issues, and you can correct those as you go. But it's also just to kind of get people interested. I would say this is almost more of a demo than a beta. I don't think there's a lot of bugs in the game. I haven't experienced any. I did experience a little bit of lag in the first day that I played it. So maybe that's something they can look into, but it might have just been my connection. I think I was streaming. I have a pretty good connection. I usually get like 100 down, 150 down, something like that, and I get like 25 to 50 upload, which is pretty good. Let's be real, that's a pretty good internet connection, so I shouldn't be lagging too often. So it might have been my connection, but I tend to believe that it might have been the game just finding people. I think that was kind of an issue, so I was getting thrown in who knows where connections, Europe or some crazy shit like that where I shouldn't be. Yeah, so one last thing that I just thought about that I should throw out there, one dislike kind of for the game, is that it is very team-based. I do play with a party, usually play with some buds usually. However, sometimes they're not interested in the same games as me, or maybe they're playing something else. So I do run solo probably more than I do with a team. However, the second day that I was playing this beta, I was running with a buddy and we had a lot more fun and a lot more success than I did the first day where I was running solo and really getting my butt kicked a little bit. So I will say that it's very team-based, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Team-based shooters are fun sometimes. However, I play more of a lone wolf style on my own, so it's kind of difficult in that sense. So if you're looking at this game and you want to play it as a lone wolf, I think you'll probably struggle a little bit just because it really is a team-based shooter. It's meant to have communication, and it's probably got a better system on the PC, because a lot more people talk on the PC, but I cannot do the PC gaming's first-person shooters. At least I'm not good with the mouse and keyboard. And I will say, I think that the game is a little bit quick-paced. There's sort of like maybe an input lag. I don't know what it is. I really had to jack my sensitivity up. As someone who, you know, plays Call of Duty, and I'm sorry that I always mention Call of Duty in my reviews, but that's my game. You guys know that. My first-person shooter. As someone who plays that, I've messed around with a lot of different sensitivities in my day, I should say. I've played on 3, I played on 4, I used to play on 10 in Modern Warfare 2, so I've kind of messed around with sensitivity until you get something comfortable. I think I play on a 5 or a 6 now, but in this game, I had to jack it way up because I found that I was getting some sort of like input lag where my controller just wasn't responding, and I've heard that from other people too, so that's something I think maybe they should look into. And again, this isn't me bashing the game, I just want to throw it out there, so if somebody for some reason at Blizzard comes across this and sees this, or maybe you see this, you just know that going into it. Hopefully that's something that can be corrected, and maybe it's not even an issue in the final release, but I definitely had to bring my sensitivity up. It's a very fast shooter. That's pretty much it for my review and my opinions on the game. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I think what I'm going to be doing is I'd like to bring sort of an in-depth analysis of each character. I know that information is out there on the Reddit and the interwebs, but I think I want to bring it into a video format for you guys to see, because I really enjoy this game. And I kind of want to talk about it. That's pretty much it though, guys. If you enjoyed this video, slap a like on it, and if not, give it a dislike, and let's talk about Overwatch, and I will see you guys in the comments below. Peace.